So I still think that the CO2 recipe is going to be bigger because of the infrastructure needed to produce enough CO2 versus the infrastructure to produce enough limestone on this. Of course, it would be CO2 from biomass. So it's like, oh hey, yeah, even more usage of stuffs. I can do this, right? Yeah, I'm also going to do undergrounds, this whole thing. These are sizable buildings. I don't know if you've noticed, but these are Mark II as well. They're pretty big buildings. They're a good size. Oh yeah, Immortal. I think you also missed me talk about the fact that these cats will have claws. Previous cat did not have front claws from a previous owner. It is the worst possible thing that you can do to a cat, by the way, is declawing them. So don't do it. But yeah, our previous cat had it done previous to us. That is the wrong direction. How did the previous cat have claws? Because there's a medical procedure. They surgically remove the claws. You can think of it as having the tips of your fingers cut off. That's what happens when you declaw a cat. You are literally cutting off the tips of their fingers. And yes, it is possible, and it is a thing that some people do to their cats because they don't want them destroying furniture, right? They don't want to have the cat clawing at furniture, expensive furniture, and destroying stuff and doing all that stuff. But so yeah, the point was the previous cat we had, through a previous owner, had been declawed on the front paws. So at least he still had his back claws, but still not great. But with the kittens, they're not declawed. They're not going to be declawed. In fact, there is a term in the adoption contract that forbids declawing them. So we're gonna have to deal with that. Having cats with claws. I haven't been in a household with cats with claws since I was how old was I? 6, 7 was when the previous cat with claws passed away, and then we didn't have a cat until Cole in 2011. Here in the United States, there are actually some apartment complexes that, in order to even have a cat, the cat must be declawed. Just as a point of reference, that is an actual term in resident agreements or renter contracts to say that if you want a cat, it has to be declawed. So this is a thing that happens a lot. As bad as it is, it happens frequently. So the limestone is this one. This needs to keep going down. do I continue using limestone after this? No. This is the end of the line on limestone. And then, of course, the biomass needs to continue as well. And there's seaweed. Beautiful, glorious, wonderful seaweed. Okay. That just leaves the Falgi, which I need the modules for. How many modules? Oh, you know, just 810. So let's head back up. I think I've got the Falgi plantations. I don't, so I need to go grab plantations as well. Time to go back to the mall. Excuse me, but you're not done yet. Fortunately, the mall is relatively close by. It's just straight shot north from here. Oops. An unpopular opinion. What is the unpopular opinion that you have? As I head up to get more mushrooms. Mushroom plantations! Squeeze. Squeeze through. There you go. Excellent. If building uses ton of modules, make a larger stack size for the modules. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said that yesterday. Yeah, or last stream I was talking about this very notion. That's 800 or 400. That's half. Because yeah, I was complaining about that just recently. Yeah, I can't really dodge 3 trips. The fact that when you click on a that's 10. That's how much I need. When you click on a building, okay, and you grab your stack of modules and you control left click to put the modules in, it'll only add the number of modules that is the stack size. So you have to click multiple times if the building requires more modules than the stack size of modules, which can be a little bit annoying. So that's why I was like, hey, maybe we should increase the stack size on these modules just to save on clicks. Because if you don't know that not all the modules are getting added when you control left click, then you're gonna end up with inconsistent results. Where's my thingy? Faugi? There. Hello, Faugi. The car should have 9 already, so I should have enough buildings now. If I can find my car. Vehicle! Crawdaddy! There you are. Yeah, so there's my 18 Faugi, with what should be sufficient numbers of the mushrooms to fill them. And I'm not going to fill a train with crap. That is not going to happen. I'm not going to fill train with logistic stuff that... No. Oh, speaking of logistic stuff. Yeah, so there's going to be more stuff added to Pi Alien Life. There have been a couple of Patreon posts. I won't go too detailed into them, but let's just say that when I saw the first post, which was sort of like a just, hey, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about this in the next post. Here's your preview. I got a pretty good guess at what it ended up being. Had a pretty good guess of what I saw. And yeah, so I will say that it has to do with logistics. And it will be a way of not having to use trains as much. Yay. And we'll get to see that once it's done. Apparently targeting right about where I am now on my science path. So that will be interesting. It has to do with being a pain in King's ass. Well, I mean, I was actually thinking about the implementation of such a system after seeing the initial idea of a new logistic thing. So if a new logistic thing, right, being added, I began brainstorming, well, what sort of a system would I think about? And as it turns out, it ended up actually being pretty much exactly what I thought about. How UPS efficient will it be? Probably not UPS efficient at all. But we shall see. I mean, just in terms of implementation, it does avoid anything having to do with pathfinding. So at least there's that, right? I would imagine you don't have to touch anything regarding pathfinding at all. So no using biter stuff for pathfinding on this, and no needing even like bot related stuff pathfinding. Yeah, so I mean, what I don't know is if you put like some sort of arbitrary delay in the moving of stuff, but it seems like it could be like almost instantaneous type stuff. It at least it seemed like something a little bit marginally simpler than something like the Ocula, which I'm sure was also a big pain. Anyway, next is mushrooms. Next is mushrooms. Oh right, did I even grab the spore collectors? I totally didn't, did I? I guess we're going back to the mall because I need the spore collectors too. Isn't that great? I am done with seaweed as well. Now, what I am slightly how should I word this? Slightly disappointed about that. I guess that's how I'll word it. Is there is an existing creature that totally fits this concept, and it's that creature that I was thinking about that fits this concept very well, but the final art looks a bit different than that particular creature. So I don't know if that creature's art is actually going to get updated to this new creature, or if it's a mutation of this creature or some sort of further processing of this creature, which, by the way, would actually put it a little bit later than the intended use, science use. But yeah, I was thinking about one very specific creature that I don't have yet. For an implementation of the system, this logistic system. It's like, oh hey, what if you just strap a backpack on it and let it go do its thing? Mm. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see what the actual implementation is once it goes live, which who knows how long that's going to be. I need my spore collectors right now. Hey guys, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5, 4. Need 4 of those. Vonix! Yes, that is the one. So says Pyanodon. That is exactly what I thought about. What if you just strapped a backpack on a Vonix and called it a sandworm? Where did I leave the vehicle again? Somewhere stupid, I think. All the way over here. All the way over here, right. So my mind went to Beetlejuice Sandworm, the first time seeing Vonix, so it's like, oh, yeah, that totally makes sense. That totes makes sense. Yeah, I don't know the implementation, if it's going to, if this new thing is going to be based off of Vonix. Or do something like with the Dingredo or the Phodiosis, be like, hey, this is a further form of a Vonix. Or if it's something completely different entirely. Alright, let's see here. $33. Why does it have to be 33? Why does it have to be a terrible number like 33? That's 18. What is the ratio actually? Not even. It would be nice if this was an even 2-to-1 between the mushrooms and the spores, but it's not quite, which makes it annoying. Break the things! Kill all the trees! Kill all the rocks, too, while you're at it. All trees must die. Yeah, I am absolutely looking forward to this new mechanic that is apparently supposed to be a replacement to trains once you get to the tech level that you can do them. Ahem. Kill the rocks. That is a lot of rocks. That is a lot of rocks. I don't need that up anymore. I did pick up 40 of these, so... Oh, did that say 17? That said 17. I can't count, apparently. Uh, that's close enough, actually. I am trying to avoid being too long. So double this is a bit longer than out to there, so... Of course, I could always use Mark IIs. If only the Mark IIs didn't actually use narrow processors. Did I space this correctly? Yes, I did. Because I think the Mark IIs of these use narrow processors, which makes them annoying. Highly annoying. Mark II. Yeah. Each one is 30 neural processors and 20 circuit 2s per spore collector. Mark II. Yeah, just no. Like, no. No way. No way, shape, form. Will I do that? Compare that to the Mark 1, right? The Mark 1 is 10 circuit 1s. That should set the tone of the stuff going forward. Like, this stuff seems off by a pretty big amount. Like, that is a lot of stuff. Seems like there are things in here that use 20 neuroprocessors, but you also have to think about, well, the items that use more stuff need to be the buildings that give you the bigger benefits, right? They're the stuff that's important, right? I'd expect the more important things to be more expensive. Do I consider spore collectors to be a particularly important thing in the grand scheme of things? It does one thing, and that's it. And that is make spores. As an item, you need it in addition to all of the other fungal stuff. So if you're doing any fungal setup with Navins, Bodos, Yadles, or Faugi, you always will need a spore collector of some sort to collect the spores. So why is the spore collector that expensive? For reference, 10 neuroprocessors, 10 circuit 2s. That's my thoughts. 10 and 10. Yeah, 10 neuroprocessors, 10 circuits. I don't really care about the advanced small parts, to be completely honest, but I think for consistency, probably also should be 10 on the advanced small parts, and then, like, 50 is a lot of Duralumin, but I guess, I mean, there's so many other things. God, did that just say 60? Yeah, that just said 60 stainless steel on the bioprinter Mark II. Like, what? Stainless steel 60. 20 Duralumin. I think should be the cap. Oh, there's another thing. 60 stainless steel on the compost Mark II. that I'm currently paying that much stuff for. It's like, what? Like, what? It's a lot of stuff. Very, very expensive stuff. But ultimately, like, one-time costs and all that. But is it really a one-time cost if you're constantly placing stuff? No, not that. That. I need to remember this is 2 lines of 17. They're not even, so the ones on the end are a little bit different. See, they're a little bit different. And then 18. 18 glorious little falgies, giving me 7.82. There we go. 18. Oh, vehicle. Give me stuffs. Fortunately, the Mark II falgies are like 40 each, so it's a little bit less than the full stack. Which is nifty. Keep doing that. Even distribution is nice, but it doesn't really handle long lines of stuff very well. Yeah, this all needs water as well. Since when has the water been on both sides? This is like the smallest of details to notice now, but at least before Pi Alien Life, I am pretty certain that the Falgi plantation only had one fluid input. Came with Pi Alien Life. Yeah, I thought as much, that this was probably something that's been there since Alien Life released, that I'm just noticing now, but yeah, it's just the smallest of things that you notice at times. It's like, oh wait, that's good. I like this update to 2. Now I don't have to worry as much about the rotation of these things. However, I will note that it did default to the sides, which is ever so slightly a very mild annoyance. It does default them to the east-west, which means that this is facing... Come on, yeah, so direction. This is the great thing about having the debug options on tooltips enabled, because it actually tells you the exact facing of a building, the exact rotation. In this case, the building is officially facing east for the fluid boxes to be on the top and bottom. When you place an item, by default, it places the item facing north. You can see direction very, very close to the bottom. That line right there, direction. Yeah. So by default, when you place a building, is direction north, which means that when I place a Fowagi plantation and put the recipe on, by default, the fluid boxes are going to be on the sides. That's my point. Is I'm more used to having it be on the top and bottom. Wait, what? What did I do? Right there. That's the one. Oops. There we go. Come on, autosave, do your thing. Also, we're almost at stage 2 Arthurians. Just point that out. Just to point that out. Also, I closed the thing again. Why do I always close the thing? Whee! Alright, water. Never forget to actually place the water input. Ta-da! Also, let's not think at all about the fact that I need to place all of the power poles in this entire setup, and that this entire setup is going to use about 400-ish or more power poles. Way more than I'm carrying. Let's put it that way. Way more than I'm carrying on power poles. And I have to place all of them, and I still need to grab like 68-ish of the sap extractors. Alright. 15 minutes before the break. What is next? So that's checked, that's checked. Next is 7 automated factories. Mark IIs. Making some beautiful og food. Beautiful and glorious og food. See, these default top bottom. Also, for the love of God, do not change this. Because then I have to rotate everything again. Like, please don't actually quote-unquote fix this. It's just note that that's the behavior of it and move on. Why did I place that on that side? I don't even... Steam! Yeah, fixing this, to quote-unquote fixing this or changing it, would just require literally every building to be rotated again. In everyone's base. It'll be rather sad. Where's Steam? All the way up here, isn't it? Yep. Steam is all the way up here. Well, that's not good. Gee, I wonder. Holy crap, it stretched all the way. Yay! That 48 is pretty nice. Yeah, that makes like 48, though. That's pretty good stuff. It will probably not fit through all that, though. There. Okay. Next, so we have mushrooms, seaweed, moss, and plastic. Time to logisticize all of this. Some moss, not all moss. Only 7.82 moss. That's another thing I need to make sure that I do as well, and that is mix these evenly distributed.